storm.
The woman was dressed, Junpei thought, rather like a dancer, in brackets. Her clothes covered very little, and her prodigious jewelry little more.
No, I'm not. You better get moving.
It's not the only thing on her that's prodigious, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, I do catch your drift.
With no
I feel like in the sequel to this game, they tried to make the character was like her, except she was an unlikable bitch.
Yeah.
You'll see when we play that game in 2026.
Yeah, with no further ceremony, she ran straight past Junpei and toward the doors behind him.
Well, okay.
The sudden proximity of a woman with such striking assets left Junpei momentarily stunned. He couldn't walk, lest he expose his boner.
You almost made me spit out my water.
But the others wasted no time and quickly followed the strange woman.
Silver hair?
Huh?
Silver the Hedgehog. The first to pass Junpei was a young man with silver hair and brackets. He threw a quick glance in Junpei's direction as he ran, muttering,
One of us, huh? What?
like how the sprites totally clash with the backgrounds, which, I mean, you know, it's not unlike other visual novels, but yeah, I guess it's more striking because the sprites look like animation cells right out of an anime.
Yeah, but that's funny. It gives it a unique style.
Yeah. Following him was an older man, his face calm and without fear. Soft wrinkles sprouted from his eyes, and he came close enough as he passed for Junpei to see wisps of gray in his hair. His composure and shock of hair struck Junpei as rather like that of an elderly lion.
Won't do you any good. There are two
His hair
doors,
looks
but
like
neither
my
of them will
beard.
open.
Wait,
Same
hold on.
color.
The doors won't open?
Sorry, what?
I said his hair looks like my beard. It's the same color.
Oh, yeah. If we, turned it upside down. The next to speak to Junpei was a girl with pink hair and a high voice. Sorry, there was a notification blocking the words pink hair, so I thought it said pigtails.
Come on! Are you coming? You gotta hurry!
Her small hand was wrapped around the wrist of another man. His eyes were closed, almost as though he were sleeping. His features were graceful, almost serene, and he was dressed rather elegantly for someone his age. Something about his posture seemed very refined, and Junpei couldn't help feeling he was noble and dignified somehow. He'd certainly never seen one, but this man seemed like what Junpei had always imagined a prince would be like.
That's 9 of us then. All of the cards are in hand.
What does that mean? Junpei opened his mouth to ask what the other man had meant, but the girl with pink hair rushed past him.
Wait! They're gone.
Just what is going on?
There's an old man like a lion, a girl with pink hair, and a prince, and I have no idea what they're talking about.
He turned just in time to see 2 more people running toward him. One of them had hair like a bird's nest and looked like Harry Potter. The other was a veritable mountain of a man.
When I was in high school, kids called me Harry Potter too. But I think they just say that to any white person in classes. As Pat said, they called him Harry Potter too.
Yeah, this guy's not white though, he's Japanese.
Ah!
Japanese Harry Potter.
I'll refer to Asians and Caucasians as white here. They're much better to look at. If anime was made up of all black people, you guys would not be watching. White people look cooler, racist or not.
The scrawny one scuttled past Junpei as though he were running from something.
What's that all about?
Hey! What the hell are you just standing there for? Didn't you hear him?
Yeah, 7 sounds nothing like I imagined either.
The doors on A deck are no good. We gotta check the doors on B deck. Got it? Now go!
Before he had a chance to respond, the man laid a massive hand on Junpei's shoulder. No more effort than Junpei would have used to brush aside a fly, the man shoved him out of the way.
Whoa.
Thrown off balance by the man and recent events, it took Junpei a few steps to get his bearings. He finally regained his balance and looked up at what the other 7 had been running toward.
Hey man, that was dangerous.
Huh?
You know, I'm actually glad I left the voice acting on, because some of it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
There are 2 pairs of Sorry, go ahead.
It's in English this time, unlike Danganronpa.
Yeah. There were 2 pairs of large iron doors set into the wall in front of him. They looked quite sturdy, and each had handles jutting from them. Written across the surface of each door in red paint was a number. The door on the right.
And this one says 5. They're the same.
The guy Junpei had decided to call Silver was mumbling to himself.
The room I woke up in had a number on the door just like that.
You too, eh?
With an arched eyebrow, the lion looked over at Silver.
My cell was the same. A number upon the door. I opened it, ran down the hallway outside, and found myself in a rather grand room full of stairs, as I suspected the rest of you.
It was as though the floodgates had been opened. They all began to talk at once.
Me too.
Same for me. There was a door with a number on it.
like how Seven's talking animation is just 2 frames. It soon became clear that each of them had awoken in a room with a locked door and solved a puzzle to escape. They'd all ended up in the same room, almost as though they'd been guided there.
Yes, we all saw the same thing. That's not important. We need to hurry.
You think I don't know that lady?
Before the dancer had time to finish, Silver was already running.
Open! Damn it!
He grabbed hold of the door labeled 5 and pulled. However,
Fuck, it's not opening. This damn thing won't even budge.
Out of my way.
the mountain grabbed Silver's shoulders and tossed him aside. His path cleared, he took a few steps back, then threw himself at the door. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. The door shook as his body slammed into it, but showed no signs of breaking or opening. The mountain threw himself at the door again.
Body slam from a guy that big didn't even budge it. There must be some other way.
Junpei turned toward door 4. Next to the door on the wall was a small box.
This looks just like the device next to the door in that room earlier. So that means this door is probably locked too.
I put myself in a metal box before I started talking again.
But still...
I'm talking through it.
I was gonna ask why is his voice like that?
I'm talking through a tin can.
Then I remembered it's probably because he's thinking to himself, but still, that talk was weird.
Junpei grabbed a handle and threw all of his weight onto it.
I like how he said there must be another way that he tries to open it in the exact same way.
It's locked as tight as the door next to it as he'd suspected. Junpei punched the door. It did not respond.
Are there any other doors?
He barely finished the thought when the C-deck plate he'd passed on his way up sprang unbidden into his mind. His body moved before he had time to think. Junpei turned and ran toward the stairs. He'd scarcely taken a step when, at the top of the stairs next to an ornate block embedded in the wall, he saw a person. It was a girl. She looked to be the same age as Junpei. He froze, unable to look away from her face. He wasn't confounded by her beauty or anything equally silly. No, there was another reason he couldn't take his eyes off the girl. Junpei had seen her somewhere before. He couldn't quite remember where, but he knew. He knew he'd met her before. The girl, too, stared at Junpei, similarly stunned. Her response suggested she'd seen him before as well. Okay, having played this, after having recently played Danganronpa, Which came first, this or Danganronpa?
This.
Yeah, I feel like Sayaka was made to like subvert the archetype set by what's her name, June?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because like
Akane's her real name, but whatever.
yeah, but like June's like her code name, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like because it's like they set Sayaka up to have like the same role that Akane has in this game, and then, well, okay, I'm not going to spoil it for anyone who hasn't already seen my Danganronpa playthrough, but for those who have, you know what happens.
Yeah. Actually, they even have like a similar backstory. I just realized this, where like when they were in school, like Junpei and Makoto like saved a duck or some shit. I don't remember the exact details.
Yeah.
I actually might be hallucinating that. I'm not sure.
Huh?
I'm pretty sure there's like some kind of similar backstory between the two.
Yeah. Without saying a word, Junpei walked slowly toward her. She didn't move. It was almost as though she was held in place by some sort of magic spell. As Junpei stepped onto her landing, the spell broke. Yeah, Spike Chunsoft, a company of deadly games. No sooner had he set his foot down than the whole ship shook a second time. The quake caught the girl unprepared and she fell and broke her fucking head. Moving on instinct, Junpei leapt to catch her. Or so he thought.
Oh.
Her face was far closer than it should have been, mere inches from his own.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's so hot.
I know, he's just thinking like, don't move your leg, don't move your leg, don't move your leg. He was flat on his back. She'd landed squarely on top of him. The girl seemed as confused as he did, and her face suggested she still hadn't fully recovered from seeing him. For a moment that seemed to stretch for a very long time, they stared at one another. The ship stopped shaking. Everything was quiet. Water could be heard from the bottom of the ship, and soft jazz could be heard in the distance, lapping faintly at the walls and ceilings, but eventually that faded as well. The silence was complete, a thick, muffling blanket. At last, the girl opened her mouth.
Oh my gosh, is that you, Jumpy?
Jumpy. Jumpy. Her words echoed through Junpei's head, and suddenly his memory returned.
Akane.
Why hadn't he realized it before? The girl was Akane Kurashiki. She and Junpei had been friends in childhood. They'd gone to elementary school together for 6 years. But what was she doing on the ship? Her soft eyes were only inches away from his own. He could feel the warmth of her face. Feelings he'd thought long forgotten began to work their way to the surface. He could feel his face heating up. At that moment...
What?
What's that voice?
Oh, sorry, forgot to change it back to novel mode. I don't know why it keeps changing.
Yeah, me neither.
The voice was harsh, obscured occasionally by the crackle of static.
This is...
Junpei recognized it. How could he have forgotten it?
That guy in the gas mask. Hey, asshole! What the hell is this? Come on out here. I want to get a look at you.
What do you mean to do to us?
That was totally fucking Chill's inflection right there. I mean to have you participate in a game.
Yeah. I wonder if you ever made a video about Zero Escape. Is that the riot?
Nonary game.
What the hell's that?
Gender Escape, the non-binary games.
Oh, so that's why it's called that.
What is he talking about?
IDK.
Well, that's why it's called what?
Hey,
He said they're found upon
Something
the
in my
persons. That's
pocket.
why it's called the night.
check this out.
Doors.
Ah.
10 hours.
Silver reached into his pocket and pulled out a small slip of paper. The rest of them reached into their own pockets and pulled out similar slips of paper. Junpei followed suit and dug into the pocket of his pants. He felt the telltale crumple of paper, slightly damp from his earlier ordeal.
I got one too.
Then it would seem Zero has seen fit to grace
Hey,
us each.
hey, I got one too. Ignore the P.
Would you mind terribly reading it to us, young man?
On this ship, you will find a handful of doors emblazoned with numbers. We will call them the numbered doors. The doors in front of you are a pair of the same. The key to opening these numbered doors are the numbered bracelets that each of you possess. Should you total the numbers on your numbered bracelets and find that the digital root of that number is equal to the number of that door, the door will open. Only those who have opened the door may pass through. There are, however, limits. Only 3 to 5 people can pass through one numbered door. All those who enter must leave, and all who enter must contribute. So this thing on my arm is a bracelet.
He glanced around. It looked like everyone else had one as well, and had come to much the same conclusion.
The purpose of the game is simple. Leave this ship alive. It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that carries a 9.
The voice finished, and the speaker went silent.
I hear a bell. I think it's coming from over by the stairs.
It's the clock telling us the time.
Everyone had their eyes on the antique clock embedded in the wall. The sound of the 9th bell faded away. The 10th never came.
Rang 9 times, so 9 o'clock then?
But then, like an hour later, it came.
I think it's 9 p.m. I couldn't
Damn,
see
I was
anything
gonna
when I
say
tried
that.
looking out the window earlier. It has to be nighttime.
If that is the case, then we would need to escape by 6 a.m. tomorrow.
The speaker went silent and did not speak again until it did.
Yeah, that's what they
Hey,
said last
you
time. but it's
bastard!
spoken again.
What do you mean by that? Come out here, you asshole!
That guy won't stop shouting. And the others.
Junpei, too, was consumed by his thoughts.
I have way too many questions. Who is Zero? What's the Nonary game? What's it for? Is he some nutjob just doing this to mess with us? Or does he have some other purpose?
His goal is to give John
Why
McCain
is he
cancer.
part of this insane game?
Well, he already
And the
succeeded at
others?
that.
Why are these 8 people here? And the most confusing of them all. Why is Akane here? I haven't seen her since elementary school. Why her? Why now? Coincidence? No. There's no way. There has to be a reason. I don't know what exactly, but there has to be.
Very well. Standing around here won't do us any good. Best we get moving, don't you think?
Get moving?
Are you planning to open the numbered doors? Hey, wait! Don't tell me you're actually gonna do what this Zero says.
No, that's not what I mean.
The lion shook his head, mildly annoyed.
I'm saying let's find another way. After all, we haven't really examined this place yet.
What?
Where have we not looked? Everyone searched A deck already, right?
Yeah, we were kind of in a rush though, so we probably missed some things.
Why don't we check out the lower floors first? We should see how deep this place goes.
I can work with that.
Then let's go.
Whoa! What the hell? It's completely submerged.
Damn. The water level keeps rising like this, we're all gonna drown.
No, I don't believe that's something we have to worry about.
I forget if there are like any breaks in the novel segments other than the puzzles. But
yeah, there are.
oh, okay.
When you have to like
The water's
choose
not
the-
flowing.
Ah, okay.
That
When
means
you
the
choose
origin
bar,
of the
you
water has
choose,
been
like,
stopped.
what to say and shit like that.
Yeah, I guess we'll end the episode when that happens then.
Perhaps this Zero fellow has used some sort of remote control to seal a watertight door lower down. He said that our time limit was 9 hours. In other words, this water won't rise for 9 hours.
And you're saying we won't sink till then.
Well, that may be a little too optimistic. No point to wishful thinking. That's depressing.
If we don't determine a way to advance from this point, we are stuck on A deck and C deck.
Looks that way.
Hey, hold on. How about we check C deck before we jump to any conclusions? We might find something there.
Huh, you're right. I think we should look at the metal doors by the big staircase, too. They're pretty suspicious.
No numbers on either door, and I don't see an authentication device either. Nope. It's locked.
This one too. Damn, none of the doors are opening.
Hey guys, over here. There's another door behind the stairs.
This one doesn't open either.
We'll see about that. Hey, old man, give me a hand.
Using force, I see. Let's give it a try. It won't budge.
Could you not just start shouting out of nowhere? You almost gave me a heart attack, you know.
Oh, sorry.
It doesn't appear to have moved even with two of us trying. It's very well made.
Try using your brain first.
Huh?
Take a closer look.
A keyhole?
Right. It's obvious what we need to open this door.
A key, huh?
You got a problem?
No, I just really doubt we'll find a key that easily.
Ignoring the tense air between the two, Junpei moved closer to examine the doorknob.
What's this?
Just above it was a strange mark in the shape of a circle surrounding a dot.
There's a mark on it. Does it mean something?
Hey, look! Over here, too!
Hmm?
Pink Hair was looking at double doors they hadn't examined yet.
More doors.
I think they're elevators. There's an inverted triangle button by them.
May as well try pressing it. Huh. Nothing.
Maybe the power isn't on.
Or we need to do something with this card reader. There's a strange mark here, too. What is this? It looks like a lowercase h with a dash drawn across the upper stem of the h.
Junpei stared at it for a while.
This is the symbol of Saturn. It's an astrological symbol.
Then the mark on the other door.
I think that was the sun symbol. We saw the same.
Looks like an
symbols on
eyeball to
A
me.
deck.
It looks like something to me, but I'm not gonna say what it is.
Alright, get the Battletoads to cover it up.
We did?
I don't remember that.
A deck, huh? I haven't been there, so I wouldn't know.
May as well check again since we're talking about it.
Lion's words urged them on, but they took the stairs up.
There. The two doors next to the stairs. The one on the left had a keyhole with a similar symbol engraved on it.
She's right. It looks similar to what we saw
Yeah,
downstairs.
I think that's like the moon symbol or something.
This is an
I think
Earth
it's
symbol.
Earth.
Earth. Okay. Close enough.
The horizontal line symbolizes the equator, and the vertical one represents the prime meridian.
I see.
Junpei looked up at the
The
ceiling.
ceiling. Metal plates. Huh. It's as if it's covering something up.
Metal Gear.
Perhaps it was a dome of some kind.
I wish we could get out through there.
Be realistic. We'd need a lot of explosives to open that up.
The windows too. Huh. They're all covered.
There were several windows along both sides of the ship. Or at least there had been. They too were covered with metal plates.
In other words, we're trapped. All the exits go nowhere.
Junpei was not happy. The girl with pink hair spoke up.
Well, I'm sure they go somewhere. We just can't open them.
Then the mountain spoke.
You don't know that. For all we know, they just open into walls or take us in circles.
The prince did not agree.
No. I'm sure they go somewhere. Otherwise, what point would there be? And we can open them. Well, 2 of them at least.
Oh, you mean the numbered doors?
All eyes turned toward the doors with numbers on them. The atmosphere in the room grew tense.
Hey, wait a minute. I think I said this earlier, but I don't think we should do that.
The dancer moved in front of the doors as if to block them.
We'd have to be crazy to open these doors. If we do that, we're doing exactly what Zero wants us to do.
Suddenly, everyone began to speak at once.
May as well give it a shot. Can't stay here forever.
Yes, I'm in favor as well.
No, I'm totally against this.
But shouldn't we at least try?
We don't know what'll happen. We should stay here.
We don't have time for that. In 8.5 hours, this ship is going to sink.
The clamor of voices made it impossible to determine who was saying what. Their arguments grew more and more intense until people were shouting and screaming at one another.
Hey, shut up!
They fell silent, and all eyes turned to Junpei. He felt each stare burning into him, but he refused to flinch.
Before we try and decide where we're going to go, there's something else we ought to do.
What's that?
We need to exchange information. We don't know anything about each other. I want to know who you guys are, where you came from, why you ended up here. Don't tell me you aren't curious too.
They were silent. Some of them looked the other way, or bit their lip, or crossed their arms and stared at the ceiling. One of them spoke up. It was Akane.
I agree. I think Jumpy is right.
Jumpy?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking about him. I just call him Jumpy. His name is Junpei.
She pointed toward
We're
Junpei.
childhood friends. We went to the same elementary school.
Wait, stop. Don't tell us stuff we didn't ask you about. Zero's probably watching us right now. What are you gonna do if he's listening in?
Oh, would that be bad?
Hell yeah, it would! We don't know how much that bastard knows about us. Maybe he just picked a bunch of random people to kidnap. If that is the case, then it'd be dangerous for us to let him know too much. If Zero knows who we are, he could go after our families. Maybe he'd tell us he had them, get us to do stuff, you know?
But we still need to know what our names are. It's going to be hard to talk to each other if we don't have names.
Alright, then why don't we have code names?
To him, apparently, it seemed like the obvious solution.
Names?
Yeah, we'll each pick something. Like, I'll be 7.
7? Why are you 7?
Why are you 7? I know, I look much older.
Because this bracelet number says 7.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, that's a good idea.
He smirked.
All right, I'm gonna be Santa. Any of you chumps know Japanese? No? Well, San means 3. So, I'll be Santa. You know, like Santa Claus. Fits, don't you think?
Oh, because of your white hair?
Your bracelet number.
Yeah, it's got a 3 on it. Good job, Grandpa.
Just like the mountain had done, Silver thrust out his left hand. Sure enough, the face of his bracelet read 3.
Very well.
I also like
I'll
how
go next,
he
shall I?
says, "Oh, you don't know Japanese," even though we're all speaking Japanese right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that. I guess they assumed that normies would play this game. Western normies.
Given that, I think Ace seems appropriate.
Well, I guess they made the right
I'll
decision
load
because this
As
game
I'm
is
sure
more
you all know,
popular
it
in
has
the US
8
than it is.
paths.
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's why they made
Which means, of
that's
course,
why they
that my
canceled
bracelet
the
number
sequel. Or they canceled the third game and then they started making it again because some fans in America kept asking them to make it.
8.
I would appreciate it if you would call me Snake.
Metal
My
Gear.
bracelet number is 2. Since Ace has chosen cards, then I choose dice. Snake eyes,
I
clearly.
don't know, I'm taking this
Which is
shit.
particularly relevant given that I'm blind.
You can't see?
I knew it.
Then how do you know the number on his bracelet was 2? Is it in Braille or what?
Clover probably told him.
Oh, and how do you, how,
It could have been written. Gave him.
sorry, what?
It could have been written on the note they gave him because they gave everyone a note.
Right.
They wrote his note in Braille. That's technically a spoiler, but I don't think that's a big deal. Because I didn't say anything else about it.
He'd kept his eyes closed during their entire ordeal, which had suggested something strange, but to hear it said so casually, it was something of a surprise. Everyone seemed a little nervous at the prince's proclamation, but no one seemed to know how to react to it.
Me next.
There was one person, however, who didn't seem to be surprised in the least. The girl with pink hair.
I want to be Clover. You know, like a 4-leaf clover. Good luck, right?
Looking almost bored, she held out her left hand. The face of her bracelet showed the number 4. They'd come around to Junpei. He held out his bracelet.
Alright, my number's 5. So my code name is gonna be...
Why have one?
Oh.
It's not like there's any point to it now.
Oh, I just remember what it is.
What?
If you write 7734 and turn it upside down, it spells hell. I just remembered that when I saw Clover's bracelet.
Yeah, so that was close to the one that I had. It's a
Yeah.
.44. Oh wait, .1134. Upside down is hello.
Yeah.
Okay, the dancer cut him off
I mean,
mid-sentence.
we all know your name already. You're Junpei.
Oh,
Oh yeah. They all nodded. Akane stepped forward nervously.
Then you should all call me by my name too. Because, I mean, it doesn't seem...
It doesn't seem fair to Jumpy.
You're thinking it's not cool for you to hide your name after you told us his.
Akane fidgeted awkwardly. Junpei decided he had to do something.
what's your bracelet number?
It's 6.
She hesitated for a moment and then held out her left hand. As she'd claimed, the bracelet's face showed a 6. Junpei looked at it for a moment and thought.
Alright then, why don't we call you June?
June?
Yeah, you know, it's the 6th month of the year, so you're June.
Jumpy?
Akane nodded her hands and looked up at Junpei, uncertain. He smiled back at her reassuringly.
Are you good with that?
Yeah.
She thought about it for a few more minutes and seemed to come to a decision and gave Junpei a small nod.
Okay then.
Okay then. Their names decided, Junpei ran over them quickly in his head,
So this is how everyone breaks
like with a
down.
car.
1 is Ace. 2 is Snake. 3 is Santa. 4 is Clover. 5 is me. 6 is June. 7 is 7. And 8 is Lotus. That means 8 of us have revealed our bracelet numbers. The only one left is...
Harry Potter.
That glasses guy with hair like a bird's nest.
You haven't said a thing so far, have you?
His behavior seemed very suspicious, or perhaps simply emotionally unstable. It was difficult to
Yeah.
tell.
I'm emotionally unstable too.
Whatever the case, it seemed clear he had only a fingertip's worth of grip on his sanity. The girl with pink hair, Clover, walked up to him slowly. She put her hands on her hips and eyed him suspiciously.
What number are you?
Uh-oh.
He didn't answer. His bloodshot eyes twitched from person to person, and his breath came in hot pants.
Hey, I'm talking to you.
The man licked his dry lips with a shaking tongue and spoke with a voice like what the fuck? Old paper?
Isn't it obvious? There are 9 people here, and you know who numbers 1 through 8 are. I'm the only one left.
So you're 9?
Yeah.
Sounds like Shaggy.
Why are you so stupid? We're trapped in the fucking ship with the inmate characters.
It looks like Harry Potter and sounds like Shaggy.
What's your code name?
Code name?
What do you want us to call you? We all made up names. You should too.
I don't need one.
Why not?
Because I am not gonna stay here with you.
He took a shuddering breath and exhaled. Clover looked at him with something very like disgust.
You've got some sort of plan?
I do.
Yeah? What's that?
You sure you want to know?
Yeah?
All right. Let me show you. I'm gonna do this!
By the time they realized what he was doing, it was too late to stop him. The man's body moved like a snake's. In the blink of an eye, he had slid around her and wrapped his arm around her waist.
Hey! What the hell do you think you're doing?
Silver, Santa, leapt forward, toward Clover and the 9th man. He was halfway there when...
Stay back!
Suddenly, the man's hand dove into his pocket.
Ah.
He held it to Clover's pale, quivering neck.
If you get any closer, I'll
Why did
cut
they
her
give him
open.
a knife?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was in his room when he woke up.
Yeah,
Maybe,
right.
but why would they let him have...
It's a good question.
I mean,
we
I sort of know the answer, but at the same time, it doesn't really make sense.
When we find that meteor, we'll find Dr. Wowie. The man's smile was neither friendly nor reassuring. Sweat poured down his neck, soaking the collar of his shirt.
Clover, are you all right?
The Prince, Snake's voice sounded oddly concerned.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Her voice shook, making her words even less convincing.
What the hell are you trying to do? I told you, this is my plan.
What are you gonna do to her, you sick son of a bitch?
Don't worry. I'm not gonna do anything to her. If she just does what I tell her to, I'll let her go.
He started to move backwards, slowly, keeping his grip on Clover.
Slowly. That's right. Just follow me.
Keeping their distance, Junpei and the others followed. Eventually, the man reached the wall. He gave a start as his back touched it, and glanced around quickly and spoke.
Here. Verify. The left. Look on your left. Do you see the device on the wall? Place your hand on the scanner panel, the round part.
What if I don't?
The man's nostrils flared and he looked like he was about to choke.
Are you an idiot? What do you think? I could slit your throat right now. I'll kill you if I have to. All I need is your bracelet. Just do it. Do it now.
Do it now. He pressed the knife against Clover's neck hard.
Okay, I'll do it.
Slowly, she stretched her left hand out toward the device.
Like this?
Her back was to it, and she had to feel around for a moment before she found the circular panel. It made a cold electronic noise, and on the display above her hand an asterisk appeared.
So that's how it works. He called that round part of the device the scanner panel. If we put our left hand on it, our bracelet number gets entered into the device. Then...
Should you total the numbers on your numbered bracelets, and find that the digital root of that number is equal to the number of that door, the door will open.
Junpei shifted his eyes to the door itself. The number on it was 5.
5. Why does this guy know so much about how this thing works? It's like he knows exactly what to do.
Good. Good. You're done. Next.
His bloodshot eyes crept from person to person until finally they stopped on the lion, Ace.
You, right? You're the one with the number 1 bracelet, right?
Yes, I am. So?
Then you're next. Just verify your number like this little rat did. What are you doing? Do it! Don't you
Just
care what
do
happens,
it!
Okay, just calm down.
Ace held up his hands, palms out. The 9th man jerked his chin toward the device.
I'm coming over.
Slowly, cautiously, Ace moved toward the device. After what seemed like an agonizing eternity, he reached it.
Now, verify.
All right, this is what you wanted, right?
Ace nodded and placed his hand on the scanner panel. The device beeped again, and a second asterisk appeared.
Now the device has both Clover and Ace's numbers, 4 and 1. 4 plus 1 is 5. It's the same as the number written on the door, but it won't open yet.
Only 3 to 5 people can pass through one numbered door.
One more person. If what Zero said is true, he needs one more person. Who? Who does he need?
Get back.
Get back to where you once belonged! His voice shook, but the knife he held to Clover's throat made his words a command. Ace took 2, then 3 steps back. What?
What's that from?
Oh, it's a Beatles reference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Jojo was a man who thought he was a loner, you know.
No! Farther! More than that! Go all the way back!
Okay.
The 9th man's lips curled into a cruel, twisted smile.
Don't tell me.
That was when Junpei understood his plan.
Clover's 4, and Ace is 1. Added to the 9th man's 9. 4 plus 1 plus 9 is 14, and the digital root of 14, 1 plus 4, is 5. In other words...
Thank God you were all so cooperative. Now I can
Wow,
get out of this.
what?
Like, let's get out of here, Scoob!
Damn, that was a good impression.
Thank you.
You're the ultimate voice actor.
A third asterisk appeared on the screen. He dropped his hand to the lever and the lever on the side of the device and pulled. The door opened with a heavy, metallic groan.
Good. I don't need you anymore.
Really?
He let go of Clover.
Wait!
Junpei leapt toward the 9th man, but he wasn't fast enough.
Here. She's all yours.
The man shoved Clover and hopped through the door.
Okay. Have a good one, guys. I'm going off ahead now. Well then, goodbye.
He raised his hand and waved, a twisted smirk on his face. Then he was gone. The door ground shut with a dull clang of metal on metal.
Clover, are you all right?
My fists are harder than metal, harder than brick.
Snake ran to Clover's side as she lay on the floor.
Yeah, I'm fine.
She climbed unsteadily to her feet, and once there, leaned heavily on Snake's shoulder for support.
Damn it!
Junpei ran to the door.
Bastard!
The others followed him. Several pairs of hands grabbed hold of the handles and pulled.
Open, damn it!
They grunted and strained, but the poop just wouldn't come out.
Shit!
Won't budge.
That was when Lotus, the dancer, spoke. Her voice was quiet.
Do you hear something?
Like, what?
Like some sort of beeping.
Junpei pressed his ear against the cold metal of the door. The others did the same.
You're right. I can hear it too.
What is it?
They heard something else. It was the ninth man.
Why is it stopping? God damn it! You lied!
Lied?
This wasn't supposed to happen! This is wrong! This is wrong!
His voice shook with fear. Safe on the outside, they stepped back from the door and looked at one another.
What is happening in there?
Am I glad that he's frozen in there and that we're out here and that we're... and that he's the sheriff and that we're out here? What I'm wondering is where's the caveman?
Open the door, please! I'm begging you! Help me! Please get me out of here!
Ah, God damn it!
Junpei grabbed hold of the device. He slammed his hand on the scanner panel. Nothing happened.
Why? Why won't it work? Engaged? Is it because it's occupied?
Oh my god, there's no time left! Listen, I was lied to! He lied to me! He put me in here! It was him! He killed me! It was him!
Oh shit.
He did. The explosion rocked the room. Instinctively, they ducked, then stood up slowly when they realized there was no danger. No one spoke. Silence filled the room.
A beep?
All eyes turned toward it.
Did that thing just make that sound?
The display changed from engaged to vacant.
Let's see if we can open it.
7. The mountain swallowed hard.
Okay.
Junpei nodded and placed his hand on the scanner panel. A red asterisk appeared on the LCD panel.
Well, it registered my bracelet number, but it won't open with one person. We need at least 2 more people.
Alright. Yeah,
I don't think it matters which one you pick, but yeah.
No, I just figured, yeah, since this is this finally a break in the novel segment, I guess this would probably be a good point to end the episode, don't you think?
Yeah.
Alright, so you know the drill, folks. If you enjoyed this video, then no further actions required on your part. If you got suggestions on what else you'd like to see us play, let us know in the comments. Check the description for TGT merch.